And I believe that we have our next caller ready to go. Welcome to the show. What's your question?
Yes, I'd like to know how do you go by to clear your credit report?
Okay, so you have some bad things on your credit report?
Right.
Are they accurate or inaccurate?
Inaccurate.
They're inaccurate? Okay.
Right.
Okay, and this is a problem. The Federal Trade Commission estimates that up to 30% of credit reports have some inaccurate information on them. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get a copy of your credit report.
Because I already got a copy report.
Okay, and did you? So in with that, did you get it from the credit bureau direct?
Yes.
Okay, in that should have been steps you can take in order to challenge the accuracy of that information. Was there any paperwork that came with the credit report?
Right.
Yeah. So what you're going to need to do is there should be like steps in there, and you're going to want to write a letter to them, and you're going to want to say, this information is not mine, this account is not mine, whatever you can about the individual accounts that are inaccurate. And you're actually going to want to get all three of the credit reports because they're separate companies. So if that information may have been reported to all three of them.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay, because they say it will be like 60 days before you clear your report. Now, because I'm not going to be around this long, I'm only going to be around maybe 3 or 4 years. That's how I'm going to be. But how do you go to clear all that credit report?
Yeah. Well, there's a law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and that's a federal law that outlines when and how credit bureaus have to respond to errors on the reports. And it says that they have to clear any information in a reasonable period of time. Most of the time, we view that as about 30 days. So it usually shouldn't take 60 days for them to do it. It should take about 30 days because what the credit bureau does is they'll then go back to whoever it is that's reporting that information and ask them, is this accurate? And say to them, prove to us that this is a legitimate debt that this person actually does owe. And then they'll get back to you one way or another.
Okay.
Hope that answered the question.
Well, that was another great call. We were obviously talking a lot about credit reports tonight, and sounds like that is a problem that a lot of people have. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. And inaccurate information is on our credit reports, and we do need to get it fixed because our credit reports are so important. Car insurance companies use them for premiums, setting premiums. Employers may use them. You go to get an apartment, of course, traditional loans. Your credit reports are becoming more and more important all the time. So making sure that information is accurate. And unfortunately, it's our responsibility. We've got to follow through with the credit bureaus. We've got to follow up again. There's a lot of companies out there too that say they do credit repair, and from what I've seen, and I've been in banking and credit for 20 years, most of them are not legitimate. They can't really provide you with a service that you cannot do yourself. If the information's on there and it's accurate, you're not going to get it taken off. The best you can do is get it removed until they verify it and ends up back on there. So they're going to charge you a lot of money, and legally they can't even charge you any money until the information comes off the report. But they're going to charge you money. Long term, you're not going to see a lot of benefit, if any benefit from it at all. Your best bet is to rebuilding things on your own. Get them paid as agreed. Perhaps get a secured credit reports unsecured. Perhaps do a credit builder, program. Get a regular credit card as soon as you can, and that'll get you back on the steps, to financial and credit report recovery. Unfortunately, there's no easy way.
So if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Unfortunately, that's usually the rule.
Unfortunately. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put Family Credit's information on the screen one more time. We've had some great calls tonight. If you'd like to give one of their certified credit counselors a call to ask questions about your credit or about these refund anticipation loans or anything else we've been discussing or any other issues you might be having, please go ahead and give them a call and give us a call if you have any questions for us tonight. For Michael McAuliffe with Family Credit Management. We do have our next caller ready to go on the line. Welcome to the show. What's your question?
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for providing this information. I have a better credit history compared to my fiancé. So, what can I do to improve the credit history for her? like co-signing for her in her credit card or her loan applications. Would that help, really?
Okay, that's a great question. One of the ways that we used to do it was I would have told you to put her on your cards as an authorized user. Unfortunately, some unscrupulous companies started selling that, so people with good credit would sell the ability to be an authorized user on their card to people who they didn't know for a fee. So the credit bureau started actually as of January this year that they will no longer take an authorized user and count it towards your credit score. So that won't work. So what you could do is, yes, you could get a new loan with her. The most important thing would be to start paying those accounts as agreed. So if you have anything out there that's past due, make sure they're paid current. And next thing would be to get some new lines. I don't think I wouldn't do a joint account. I don't think you need to. Based on a little understanding I have, I would say get a secured credit card. Several banks offer them that report unsecured, and that's really a key. A lot of banks do. I know U.S. Bank offers a good one, where you're able to get a secured credit card. You put $200, $300, $400 in a savings account. They freeze that account. They give you a credit card. Make the payments on the card. It's reported as an unsecured card, and that starts to rebuild your credit. So that's one of the great ways to do it. And then once you start to get some good trade lines on there, here in a couple 12 months, credit reports, your score starts to go up, and then you can start getting more credit cards on your own. So that's really the way. Make sure all accounts are paid as agreed, and then go ahead and get a secured card or just get a regular credit card.
Okay, great information. We're going to go ahead and put Family Credit's information on the screen one more time, so you can give them your calls with any of these credit questions. It's always great to hear people being responsible and finding out about their new spouse's information before they get married. We're going to take one more call this evening. The show's about over. Let's take one more. Welcome to the show. What's your question?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes. I'm about bankruptcy. Hello?
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, okay, because I got a repossessed car on there, and that's going to be on there for several years. And also, I got a couple of bills that went into collection, and so it's like I'm in debt. So is it best just to go file the bankruptcy because the repo is going to be on there anyway, and I'm going to be like, bad credit risk. So file the bankruptcy and just a clean slate and keep going to be a good idea, do you think?
Okay. Yeah, it's a great question. I can't say specifically whether or not you should file without seeing your situation, but if you have a repossession on there, in general, you have collection items, you have some past due things on there, then that's when we start to get to the point that bankruptcy does make sense. Really also depends on how many dollars you're talking about. A bankruptcy is going to be a little bit worse than a repossession. So I would say take a look at it, and maybe get a copy of your credit report or call up the 800-994-DEBT, talk to a counselor, ask your questions, and they might be able to help.
Great. So if you have any questions that wouldn't fit in our show tonight, please go ahead and give Family Credit Management a call, and one of their certified credit counselors would be happy to talk to you and answer all of your questions. Thanks so much for being with us tonight, Michael. Michael McAuliffe has been our guest once again from Family Credit Management. We will be on every Monday night at 6:30, so please go ahead and tune in with us again with your questions about your money problems, and we'll see you next time. Have a great night.
Good night.